A few days ago, I used an attachment on my string trimmer called the Steel Power Sweep, and I swept all the gravel out of the grass next to our driveway and made like windrows and piles in the driveway. And now I'm going to use, if I can line it up correctly, I'm going to use the front bucket or the front loader with the bucket on the summit to smooth all that out. One of the most effective ways I've found to grade gravel and kind of shape our road is to use the front bucket on the tractor. And you can use a box blade with regular gravel, but we have what's called asphalt millings, and they've got a like solid road base from where they've been compacted and the sun has congealed them. So it's almost like hard concrete underneath the millings on top. And it's the millings on top that wash off, and that's what I've windrowed. You see a little bit here behind the tractor, and then there's a whole bunch right there where it washes over from the left side of the road right there over to the right side. And I just find it's easier to use the bucket on the tractor than it is to use the box blade for this type of grading. And I know there's experts out there with a box blade that can do better. I'm just not one of them. But going down here, you can see where I got all the gravel out of the road, and there's like a 4-inch or so windrow there. And it's like 12 inches there. I used the tractor bucket a little bit there to do a demonstration, but I got to get all of this smooth because right now it's pretty bumpy where you're hitting parts of the roadbed and the softer gravel is off to the side. So what's your preferred way of shaping up your driveway, whether it's gravel or dirt? Do you like using a box blade, a land plane? Do you use a bucket like me? Because I just don't see a lot of people using the buckets on their loader to do grading. And I just think it's a great tool. And this is what I like most about it, is that everything's in front of me. Now I'm not using float mode right now. I'm adjusting the pressure with the joystick here, whether I want to put down pressure on it or not. I'll use float mode at the end. But to me, this is so much easier. I can see what I'm doing. Everything's in front of me. I just like it better. You may have noticed, instead of just pulling this straight back, I'm kind of coming at an angle, and that way I can pull it towards the center of the road, because if I try to smooth it out where it's at, a lot of it will try and go back into the grass. So I can work with it better here in the center, and if I need more gravel out there on the edge, I can always push gravel out there. So I'm not only using the cutting edge of the bucket, but I'm using the back edge, or what's called the heel of the bucket. This is the most controversial thing I do with a tractor bucket, and that's push with it like this, with the arms in the extended position. And what I want to do is put a pile of gravel up by the camera and then back drag it. And a lot of people say this will break your loader, and it's not a recommended way to use your loader with it fully extended like that, but I do it. I try to limit it, but I do it when I need it. It seems to be like the perfect angle and the perfect way to get that gravel where I want it. Despite my best efforts, I still got the gravel too close to the grass, so I'm going to drag it up towards the middle of the road with the back of the blade so that I can work with it more. But the power sweep got it where I needed it. It's just my mistake for mounting it up there too close to the grass. I've almost got this done, but here comes the most satisfying part. Now that I've put these loose millings more in the center of the road where I can work with them, now I can back blade long distances with the back edge and the heel of the bucket. And what I do is I use the heel when I want to scrape, and then I just take the bucket and tilt it, and as I tilt it, it forms a wedge with the ground and then packs the gravel behind it. So, or as I go along. So to me, that's so much better than a box blade. We have a land plane from Summit Tractors that's also a box blade, but it just won't work here again because we have that really solid road base and we're not trying to dig up what's underneath. We're just trying to lay in this smooth gravel on top and fill in any imperfections of that road bed so it's a nice smooth ride coming in here. Life's short, tractor hard, because life is short and precious, and do what you love. And I love to tractor, but if we were to separate like categories of tractoring, we do like to mow out here, and mowing's fun, but I think this is what I like to do the most. Right here is grading with a bucket, especially like this last pass. It's just so satisfying to work it a little bit, work the gravel a little bit, get it in the piles where you need it, and then do that final back grade or back blade grading and get a perfectly smooth finish. Now I didn't there because I'm still trying to push some material around, but I'm going to try to with this pass. And I'm going to use the hydraulics to put pressure down on the bucket. I'm not going to be in float mode. I'll do float mode on my final pass once I get everything the way I want it. Use the heel of the bucket when I want to pull material, and the front edge of the bucket when I want to smooth it. But when you get a big piece of asphalt, it'll mess you up there. So I toss these to the side, and then I'll throw them back on top later where it's hard packed, and then vehicles will crush them. All right, let's do this. That's perfectly smooth right there. Once I get in the rhythm, I can go really, really fast, and then you get some good throwing action. That's almost like the final finish right there. That was a really good run. When you're backing up and you're back dragging, sometimes when you have the front tires off the ground, the tractor will go where it wants to go. So you got to just kind of feather the hydraulics, get those front tires back on the ground and get you straight again. But from me to the camera, that's perfect there. See how the tractor's kind of shifted to the side? All them front tires, or all that weight off the tires that can't steer. There it goes again, going sideways. Now I'm going to go float mode, so I'll just jam that lever all the way forward. And now it's just the weight of the loader dragging. There's no down pressure. So I've reestablished my crown by having all the gravel in the center, or a lot of the gravel in the center. So now I get my bucket where there's very little heel pulling the gravel, shove it in float mode, just kind of feather in these little nooks and crannies. Look at that. Look how nice that is. You don't need to pay someone $100 an hour if you have a tractor. You don't need to buy an expensive land plane or an expensive box blade to maintain your driveway. Look at that. It's absolutely perfect there right in front of the tractor. All the way across the whole 30 feet of the driveway. That might be the best grading job that I've done in a long time. I have to grade this often because we've had some big rains, and now with the water coming off the house, the new house, we haven't addressed that yet with gutters or drainage. So I'm having to do this more often. I got it like this every time, I'd be happy. That didn't take long at all. I got that part of the road squared away. It's perfectly crowned and spread out evenly. Be a nice smooth ride coming up here. But we have another area that washes out pretty bad, and it's washed out like 13 to 20 feet off of the road, and I reclaimed a lot of that. So I've got some bigger piles down here that I have to spread out. So I'll be doing the same thing, but I'm gonna have more material to work with. This area here is going to take considerable more work. You can see that's from there to there. That's 8 inches or so of material that I used that steel power sweep and pushed it all up there. What I want to do is, because the water runs down here and washes where the railroad ties stop, I do eventually want to put more railroad ties down here. Won't be able to get to that today, but I'm going to try to get the Kubota tractor with the bigger bucket and lay in some clay in here, so that when that gravel hits the clay, it won't wash out and the gravel will stay here and the clay will stay here. Right now it's on a sandy base, and it washes out really bad there. I'm also going to open the gate so I can work on where our driveway hits the paved road, the county road out there, because when you come right off the county road, there's a little washout. So I'm going to go get a bucket of fresh millings for that and dump that out there and back drag. I'm going to work on this pile here first though. First thing I want to do is kind of clean up along these railroad ties. I've been working it for a bit, moving the material back and forth and trying to get some of that organic matter. There's some grass and stuff in there, but I've just about got it. I got a little bit more, maybe a couple more passes of back blading to do, and I'll do that in the float mode, and then I think we're gonna have it done. And I'm gonna go get a bucket load of fresh millings from the pile. We have a leftover pile from where we bought a couple extra truckloads 5 years ago, and put it up there by the road to make that transition off the county road smoother. And then I might get some clay and shore up this one side of the road. Remember a few minutes ago here on the right, we had that big pile of millings that I had pushed up from the grass, and I got that back in the road bed and cleaned up all along these railroad ties, and then took all that extra gravel, pushed it up to the county road, and then backbladed it. And it came out pretty good. It's level, all the holes are filled in, and it should be real smooth to drive on. And so this is just a fix, it's not a cure. And what happens is that when we get these big downpours, too much rain comes and the culverts can't handle it. So if you look over here, you'll see we have a short culvert on this side of the road, and that could handle all the water, but what happens is it gets covered with leaves and it kind of partially plugs it. And when it plugs it, the water comes up and over, and then it washes down the road over to the railroad ties and then goes behind the tractor and puts the millings into the grass over here. And I don't know what the remedy to that is. I put these railroad ties here thinking that would raise up the road bed and that all the water would stay over there on the right side, but I guess there's just too much of a slope or too much of a grade, and water's going to follow gravity every time. But this area right here is just too sandy, so that does need some clay brought in just to raise that a little bit. And then over there I have my extra millings. I'll get a bucket of them and I'll show you where we're going to put them. Always hard to see elevation changes, but I think you can see this one pretty good, where you come off the county road and you can see the yellow sand or clay there, and you got about 2 inches of a bump every time you come off the road. Now over there it's not as bad. It's kind of a smooth transition. So I think a bucket of millings packed in here is going to really help that out. And I don't think it's going to wash out because it doesn't have any place to go. I just got to keep my eye out on oncoming traffic, so when I dump that, I can backblade it real quick. And I don't like doing much out here on the roadside because it's 55-mile-an-hour road, and you know, people don't pay attention nowadays. They're too busy. I gotta be careful with this. It's July 4th weekend, or the end of July 4th weekend, and everybody's trying to get home. Just had a big RV go by at about 60 miles an hour. So I'm gonna go up here, keeping an eye out, dump this. I don't want it to go on the road at all. I did a pretty good job of keeping it off the road. So now, yeah, I can see traffic good. I got a little bit of time. I can get out of the way. But the cars are going to be just a couple feet away from me. I don't like this, but hopefully it works out. Yeah, once I get that spread all the way across, then I can back blade it and I don't have to be this close to the road. Luckily, not a single car has come by. I'm only halfway looking at what the bucket's doing. Doggone it. Big old piece of asphalt chunk got caught under the bucket and drug all this back. Get these big pieces out. I'll put them on the road, our driveway, and they'll get crushed and become little pieces. All right, I'm gonna pack it in and then blade it. So here's the final product. I got it pretty well packed in. Now it's a nice smooth transition coming off the county road right there. And there's the rest of the driveway. It's kind of shaded now, but it's back in shape. And hopefully we don't have another big rain for a while. I think it was last July, which would have been a year ago, when we got the big rain that washed it out last time. But every time it gets washed out, I put it back a little bit better than what it was. And I'm not going to have a chance today to put that clay down there, but I will in an upcoming video and in an upcoming project. I will get these railroad ties all the way down there, and then I'll also get this ditch cleaned out. And I want to get this ditch cleaned out all the way down to the pond culvert, and that way I can get the water coming down and staying on this side. I'll probably end up putting a bigger culvert in there. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video, folks. We sure appreciate you watching. If you would, click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, y'all take care out there. And remember, life's short, tractor hard, and check out these two videos right here. They're pretty cool too.